The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. When the time arrived for Elizabeth to have her child, she gave birth to a son. Her neighbors and relatives heard that the Lord had shown his great mercy toward her, and they rejoiced with her. When they came on the 8th day to circumcise the child, they were going to call him Zechariah after his father. But his mother said in reply, "No, he will be called John." But they answered her, "There is no one among your relatives who has this name." So they made signs, asking his father what he wished him to be called. He asked for a tablet and wrote, "John is his name." And all were amazed. Immediately his mouth was open, his tongue freed, and he spoke, blessing God. Then fear came upon all their neighbors, and all these matters were discussed throughout the hill country of Judea. All who heard these things took them to heart, saying, "What then will this child be? For surely the hand of the Lord was with him." The child grew and became strong in spirit, and he was in the desert until the day of his manifestation to Israel. The Gospel of the Lord. You get me for 3 readings and a homily. John the Baptist to me is quite elusive. He shows up at Advent. There are a couple of feast days where we remember John the Baptist. But he seems to me to be elusive. Read the gospel passages, and it's easy to skip over and not really pay attention to him and get to Jesus. How can the nativity stories of Jesus, they're so powerful. It's easy to forget about John the Baptist, who came before and prepared the way. There's a lot of preparation going on these days. I don't quite know what school will look like in August, but I know that at Cristo Rey Jesuit and Strake Jesuit, there's a tremendous amount of preparation going on. I think summer is kind of the time of preparation normally in schools, but this summer even more so. And, if preparation is done well, for instance, we're going to hopefully open our athletic camp in a week or so. And I got yesterday the document, the planning document that we will use to carry out that camp. It's 25 pages long, and most of it obviously has to do with how to keep kids from getting sick as much as possible. And that planning document was put together by 4 or 5 people in meetings over the past couple of weeks. There's something about planning and preparation that we learned from John the Baptist and that we've learned in these days. If planning is done right, you don't really see the plan. You see the results of the plan. If our planning for August and returning to school is done right, you won't see it. It won't be in your face. You'll just see that school has resumed in whatever way it resumes. But the planning, you shouldn't really see. Planning is sort of a desert experience. Those who plan, those who prepare, are giving of themselves in a way that brings no notoriety, no fame, no proclamation. It's easy to miss them. It's easy to look over past them and see the results of the planning. But that's the way it is with the life of a disciple. That's what we're called to do. We're called to live our lives as selflessly as possible, so that when people see us and see our lives, they don't see us. They see God at work in their own lives.